Back with another episode. It's your host, SB Press. I got my main man with the master plan, Alex, back at it another episode. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and shoot the ish, and we'll fill, I guess, whatever comes to mind.
No, so we're
Comes out of
talking
mouth.
about
Oh.
Joe Rogan podcast and
We were.
and how he was talking to a fighter and how different fighters go travel around the world to gain different skills and different styles of martial arts and how it helps. And we're talking about McGregor, how one of the podcasters, I don't know who it was, but met him before and how he lost his hunger. But that just popped up into my question about traveling around the world, and I get it's mixed martial arts, MMA, right? So I get it. You're saying that you travel around the world and you learn different skills, but some people stay in 10 years longer in one skill, right? Mm-hmm. And master it. And I don't think you can master
something that constantly evolves.
Exactly. So I see it more because you've seen Ip Man, right? The movies.
Yes.
Wing Chun, and it's a different style, and they focus on that style for the rest of their lives. I'm wondering how the MMA would look if it was still that way, where somebody focused on a style and went to fight a different style in that ring. Say for example, a kickboxer comes in, fights a boxer that's been there for ages, but now everybody's just a mixed martial artist. Mm-hmm. It's like that one saying, what is it? Man of many crafts is a master of none. And there's a bigger, there's more to that saying. I heard it too, but I can't remember. But yeah, that's my question. Do you think it would be different if somebody just focused into one martial art, regardless of what it is, instead of everybody knowing everything? And I get it, once you get, I know why everybody goes into different martial arts, because say I'm a boxer and I get submitted, then I don't want to lose by getting submitted again. So of course I'm going to learn how to block that submission. So I'm going to become a mixed.
You're going to become a mixed martial artist.
Yeah, but I guess I'm focusing too much, and I'm thinking of Baki.
I was just about to say, this sounds like Baki the anime. It sounds like, just fighters from all different places and facets of the world with different backgrounds and stuff coming together and just seeing whose fighting techniques are greater than the others.
Exactly.
And I guess to answer your question, it's pretty complex, by the way, but I guess to answer your question, I think it's good to kind of like hone your skills on one thing. I understand the versatility of learning multiple differents. I get the benefits of that. But I'm also a person that's like, you gotta be good at one thing first before you try to be great at all things. So I would think that it would be better to focus on one thing, get as good as you possibly can get at that, and then move on to another thing. Instead of taking, let's say you got a 10-year experience with, kickboxing. You have a 10-year experience of kickboxing. Over in that 10-year span, you learn 5 different fighting styles, which means you're only spending 2 years on each fighting style that you're learning. You think that'll be better than a 10-year kickboxer?
It depends, because see, here's what I was thinking about too. So you're focusing on that kickboxer and that martial artist that's gonna fight him. The kickboxer only knows kickboxing, so when he's fighting, his movements are, what's that word? Reflexes. And he doesn't really think about it. because he's done it repeatedly so many times. Now the mixed martial artist, when he goes and sees, oh, I see an opening, what comes up? What pops up into his head first? Should I attack him as a boxer, as a karate, as a kickboxer? See, that's another thing that does it cost you
But
more,
that confusion can also throw you off.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Does
with
it
all those things.
Does it leave you more open for those 2-3 milliseconds that are you thinking of what style to choose?
I think yes. In the fight game, hesitation is basically a closer taste to defeat. The best thing to do is strike fast and strike hard. So hesitating could be the loss in that fight. Your hesitation could be that person's victory or whatever. So I don't know. It's a pretty complicated situation because if you're reading somebody, if you have two defensive fighters, then who's gonna initiate the fight?
Yeah, exactly. Who's gonna throw the first punch?
Like who's really gonna initiate the fight if they're both counter punchers?
And then you have those fights that they're both grapplers and they just end up wrestling. And I mean, it's a great show of their skill, but in an entertainment sport, it's not very entertaining.
You're not with the wrestling in the MMA world.
We want to see some gladiators. Are you entertained?
Yeah, but then also like without the wrestling, it eliminates the grappling, which eliminates the submission.
That's how wrestling. That's how anything started, just by wrestling.
Yeah,
that's the basic of everything.
Everything started from that.
It's funny because
which makes it real.
There's a video on YouTube about Snoop Dogg and Kevin Hart talking about the Greco-Roman wrestling moves. I didn't click on it, but it's funny now that I mentioned it.
I thought you were about to say they were talking about the Island Boys.
No, that was funny though. The Island Boys. It's funny because I've been saying that today all day too.
Yeah, it's pretty addicting. Sorry for that.
It's time.
That means it's time to
go
to get this wrapped up. See you next time, compadres.